Thank you, Speaker. I want to begin by acknowledging and thanking the very many people in Toronto who have put so much of their time in participating and helping to develop the environmental assessment that is in front of us now. Torontonians have spent thousands of hours thinking about the future of this city. I want to thank them for that commitment to our future and to our present. Thank you. Also, I want to acknowledge our staff. It's been difficult for many of you to speak truth to power over the last couple of weeks. Thank you for that. And I want to thank the members of this council. It has been a very, very, very thorough airing of this issue. And I appreciate that there are two sides here, and there are legitimate arguments for the two different sides. If you want a better environment, if you want a better economy, if you want a more livable city, the evidence is very clear in front of us. You should be supporting the Boulevard option. If you are concerned that traffic will move more slowly, the evidence is in front of you. You should be supporting the hybrid. That's simple. That's what the evidence tells us. But if you are supporting the hybrid, I want to tell you, you are profoundly, dangerously wrong. There are three reasons for this. The first reason for this is that we are actually coming to the end of an era here in North America, the era where we chase an impossible dream of fast, personally private, automobile-dominated transportation. You see the television commercials, you get in the car, you zip down the road. We've been chasing that dream for a couple of generations, and it's an impossible dream, and all the evidence is that it's impossible. And people are starting to realize we're at the end of that era. Shockingly, a few days ago, the leaders of the G7 came together and said, we are going to have zero fossil fuels in our economy 100 years from now. Stephen Harper has a better vision for this city than those of you who are supporting the hybrid. He knows that we will not have fossil fuel-based transportation when this roadway comes to the end of its life. The leaders of the G7 came to that conclusion. We can also see that we've reached a tipping point if you look at the patterns of automobile ownership and license holding. For the first time since the automobile was invented, the rate at which people are getting driver's licenses and buying cars is starting to decline, and decline sharply right across Europe and North America. The era of the automobile is coming to an end. It's insane to invest money in that future. The second reason is whichever option you're in favor of, you have to remember that one of them comes at a premium, $100 million. Right up front in our capital budget. This is the same council that during the budget debate refused to put extra money in the budget for the repairs to the Toronto community housing portfolio. If you're concerned about the 5,000 or so people who are coming in the morning, being stuck in traffic for a few more minutes, where is your concern for the 164,000 people who are living in housing that's falling apart? Why are we not debating putting that $100 million into that? There's also a premium in terms of the expenses every year. Only $5 million, I'm told, every year. Well, to all the parents out there of young children who are looking for affordable childcare, hundreds of you are going to lose the opportunity to have childcare because we're committing extra money to maintaining an elevated expressway instead. Those are the choices we're making here today. And the final reason why you are profoundly wrong if you support the hybrid is there's an important issue about who runs this town. We have an environmental assessment terms of reference document that we approved. It had 5 goals. As you heard when I asked the consultant yesterday, the Boulevard option meets all 5 of those goals better than the hybrid. Those terms of reference were generated by a public conversation that members of the community, members of the business community, leaders from right across Toronto participated in developing. We had a public conversation. What do you want to do with this land? We came up with goals for that land. Our consultants tell us all of those goals are met by the Boulevard, not by the hybrid. So instead of listening to that public choice, now we are listening to the Trucking Association and the CAA and the lobbyists that they've hired. If you believe that the public should set the agenda in this town, you must vote for the Boulevard.
Thank you, Councillor Perks.